Hi, welcome to Flowers with Emily. I'm Emily and I love flowers, and I'm so excited you're here today because today we're going to make an amazing project. We are going to make this beautiful flower garland. I love flowers. Flowers make me feel happy, and I love having that energy in my home. And sometimes, for whatever reason, I can't get flowers, or maybe I just have what's available at my house and I had some paper, so I thought, oh, this is the perfect way to make this little corner in my living room look amazing and bright and happy. So I'm going to share that with you today. So today, first of all, we need to make what we call a template. Now, I got online and I looked to see what kind of flower shapes would be really fun to draw to create a template. And because I wanted all my flowers to be about the same size for the garland, I took a white piece of cardstock and I picked a plate that was about the size that I wanted for my large flowers. So then I took a pen and traced the plate, and then that's the size of the flower that I wanted to create a template for. So then what I'm going to draw is, I love tulips. So I'm going to draw a tulip using the circle to kind of be my guide for the shape. All right, so here's my tulip that I hand draw into the circle, and then I'm going to cut it out. You can use any kind of flower shapes that you want for your garland, but the ones that I picked were the tulip, the daisy, and the frangipani. And if you have never seen a frangipani, you are in luck today because they are pretty beautiful, and I'm going to show you in just a second. All right, so here is my awesome template out of cardstock. So I picked 3 different shapes of flowers, and then I also wanted to draw some leaves. So I also took the circle to get the size right and drew my leaves inside the circle as well. We're gonna move this over here for now. So let me show you my other templates that I made. So here's the daisy, and here is the frangipani. Looks a little more tropical, but I thought these with the tulip would be so fun for my flower garland. Okay, so the next step is you're going to take your flower template. We're going to use the frangipani for our example, and I'm going to put it into the corner as close as I can so that I can maximize how many flowers I can trace onto a single sheet of paper. One thing I also should mention is I wanted to have a little bit slightly smaller flowers as well. So once I got these big ones exactly how I wanted, I drew some smaller ones and made templates for those as well. So here's my smaller frangipani. Then I could fit a bunch of these traced onto the paper as well. So I tried to maximize every little part of my paper. So I'm gonna quickly trace these. Using cardstock is really great for templates because it holds up better as you trace more and more. But you can use cardstock, or you could even use regular computer paper if you don't have cardstock. I'm sorry, you can use cardboard if you don't have cardstock, or also regular computer paper. Okay, so now that I have these traced onto my paper, I'm going to cut them out with some scissors. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little pizzazz to these flowers. Now, the paper I chose was solid, but you can also pick pattern paper if you have that at home. That would be really fun. But since I picked solid for my main color, I had some really pretty origami paper that had patterns on it that I'm going to use for the center, the circle that I'm going to place in the center of the flowers to give it a little bit of excitement and a little bit of visual interest. So here we go. I'm almost done cutting out the large flower. Now this is a great job if you want to enlist any friends or family members to help cut out all your flowers. But maybe you want to do it by yourself. Maybe this is a surprise that you're gonna hang in your parents' bedroom. Maybe give it to a grandparent so you don't want them to know. Anyways, here we go. We've got a flower ready to go, and I already had cut out this circle of this beautiful pattern paper. But let me show you really quickly. I did 2 different sizes of circles, and I put them as close to the edge as possible so that I could get as many circles out of this tiny little paper, because we don't want to waste anything. All right, so I'm going to grab my glue stick, and I am going to get glue on the circle. Oh my goodness, look how amazing that frangipani looks. It's gonna be so beautiful in our flower garland. I'm so excited. Okay, the next step for our flower garland, we're gonna punch some holes. Now, I have this crazy hole puncher that I use for multiple projects, but don't worry, if you don't have this at home, it's totally fine. You can use a regular hole punch, you could use a 3-hole punch, or you could even use your pen and just poke some holes. But we want 2 holes in the center of our flower. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this down here, let's see, and I'm gonna decide where I want the hole, and then I'm gonna punch a hole right there. I'm gonna do my second hole. You don't wanna have your holes too close together, because if they're too close together, sometimes they rip. So you wanna be careful of that. All right, now that I have my flower all ready to go, I'm going to bring over the flowers I already got done in advance. Have this beautiful pink daisy, this red tulip, this beautiful green leaf, and this beautiful pink frangipani. And we are going to take some twine and we are going to string them together. All right, so as we're stringing these together, we're going to take the twine and we're going to go up through the back and then down through the second hole. And twine is really good to use because it doesn't slide as much. But if you don't have twine, that's totally fine. You could use string, you could use ribbon, anything that you have at home. Oh wait, I don't want to put 2 of the same flowers together, so I'm going to switch to a leaf. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pull that like so. And I'm going to use my red tulip. I'm going to go through the back. Now make sure when you put your flowers on that if you see any pen marks, they're on the back side, because then it will make the front look even more beautiful. Okay, next up is the pink daisy. Now as you're making your garland, also my twine is fraying, so I'm just going to chop off a little bit so it's easier to thread through. That's a helpful tip. But I'm going to think about, where do I want to hang my garland? Maybe I want to hang it in my bedroom, maybe hang it in the kitchen, maybe you want to put it, I don't know, in your living room. There's so many fun places that you could hang a garland and bring a little bit of joy and brightness into your home. So be thinking about where you want to hang your flower garland. Here is my beautiful flower garland. It looks amazing, and I can't wait to hang it somewhere in my apartment. I hope you guys had so much fun watching this video, and I can't wait to see what you make.